And welcome to Aachen, underway with eventing this morning. A very good morning to you all, and we have our first combinations out on course, and Caroline Pamek-Chu and HSH Blake for the former Pan Am champions starting out on the track. Of course, it's a big day for both individual and team competition, and good morning to Nicole Brown, hopefully as well, to take us through competition today as well.
Well, a very good morning, Stephen. A very good morning to everybody watching at home, whatever time of day or night that it might be. It's been a brilliant day of competition yesterday, and the scene is very much set for a traditional, brilliant, epic Aachen finish.
It certainly is. We've got Caroline on course at the moment, so we won't be ignoring her, but we're following her around through the early stages here, and coming up to the Turkish Airlines complex, which is actually going to be at fence 7 there, the fruit table, to come up towards. It's going to be a total of 24 fences on the course in all. But Nicole, give us a little bit of rundown of who's in the lead individually and how the team's sitting as well as she comes up through the hollow here for Caroline.
Well, she made that look really straightforward, didn't she? She looks to be travelling very well at this stage of the course. So, competition as it stands at the moment. Tim Price and Vitali for New Zealand are out in front. They were joint leaders in the dressage with Jerome Robinet and Black Ice. Jerome actually had one rail down in the show jumping, so he's dropped down to 4th. Tim holds the lead outright, ahead of Bubby Upton and Cannavaro. Bubby on her Aachen debut. Tom McEwen and Brookfield's Quality sit in the 3rd spot on the podium.
Coming down into the Rolex complex now, new look to a number of the fences on the course this year. The Rolex complex, some of you will be looking down on there going, where's the archway? That's all gone, that's all changed. Out of the water comes Caroline Pamek-Chu as she heads out into the country. But there's several different routes this year, new areas coming into play, and bearing in mind with the World Championships here too next year, there's lots of changes going on. But we're coming up to the Allianz complex now, which is a familiar part of the course here across the farm. So it's going to be an up the hillside to the log, drop down, another slide up and down here, and then just keep the balance and go onto the log again, and then back down to the water again. But I can tell you, Nicole, it's a beautiful, perfect day of conditions here in Aachen.
That's what I like to hear. I hear there's been all sorts, from very hot weather, thunderstorms. It's caused it a good bit of challenge for the organisers, who are quite extraordinary at CHIO Aachen and the World Equestrian Festival anyway.
Absolutely.
But I'll pick up on the course changes in a moment. Let's just watch Caroline back through here, because it's a fairly twisty, turny track. You noted to me that actually you managed to walk it pretty quickly last night.
I did. I don't know whether it's just all the time in the gym, but I was around it pretty quickly last night. But no, it's a really good spectator layout as well. Again, smooth run through the Rolex complex once again. That fence on the way in, the hanging log there, it's actually, when you get up to that does feel quite the drop into the water. But again, at this level, I'm not expecting them to bat too much of an eyelid at that one. But again, just keep a smooth line through that Rolex fence. Then there's a few familiar runs coming up for them here. And of course, they're going to be finishing up in the stadium. Optimum time of 6 minutes 35 over the track here. Down across and over the arrowhead there. She's taking some pretty straightforward routes. It's going to be very interesting to see, Nicole, where she finishes up as our trailblazer here.
Yeah, 6 minutes 35 seconds is the optimum time. Total distance of 3,753 metres. Giuseppe Della Chiesa is the new course designer here. I mean, Giuseppe has an incredible CV to his name in terms of championships that he has designed. He's designed at the likes of Mars Babington International Horse Trials. He was the designer in Protoni for the World Championships in 2022. He's taken over from Rudiger Schwartz, and there is very much a new feel. This is going to be the part of Caroline's round that I'm particularly interested in, because Blake just looks like he's getting a little bit strong, and Caroline's going to have to take the time to set up for the fences, which can eat away at valuable seconds. And we all know the Aachen pressure cooker only too well.
Over the SAP house now, coming round to, again, to a big extended part of the course where they lift up on the ground here over the SAP log. Now, this is where they've got to have the accuracy there for a 2-stride shot through here. Ooh, and pushes through the first of those tractors. What was your thoughts on that?
I think we'll keep an eye on the live scores, Steve.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
interesting. I was chatting to Laura Collett about the track last night, and she was saying, she's jumped a lot of Aachens, and she was saying it's different this year. It has a different feel. But she said there's these angled brushes that are seriously tough, and we've just seen them. I think there'll be a few questions over them throughout the day. At the moment, looks like clear on the live scores, so that is all good. Coming into the SAP combination at just after the 5-minute marker, I had her about 15 seconds down on the clock there. So she's definitely going to be picking up time penalties. How many? We'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely, and again, the key to keep an eye on here as we come to these starboard corners here, that's going to take them back towards the stadium. They're going to come through the gates there at the 6-minute mark as well as they come and cross over here. So this is going to give them some idea. But as you see from the clock, as you say, they're going to be coming over that. But they sweep in here through the trade stands and then into the stadium, which gives a very different feel to this. And as it builds up over the afternoon, it's going to be crowds stacked out here as well over the steeplechase fence. And then they bring in the lake, which actually they use for the driving tonight. The show jumpers went through it yesterday as well. But they've got the gate, the Oxa gate to go before that, but the gate will take them into the water. Then they've got to step up out of here. Okay, well, they use this lake to all sorts of effect throughout the week. And then a final hour hole to complete once they've got across the table. So this is going to be the final fence on course. And there we go. Going to cross the line, obviously over the optimum. Nicole, how do you think that plays out?